So stats have come out that showed 9 out of 10 mums feel lonely, which is shocking, and it just shouldn't be the case. And that's one of the reasons I created the Lovely Mum Crowd, was based on the fact that I had experienced really big periods of loneliness, especially when I moved from London to Surrey. And as some of you know, I moved from London to Surrey and I didn't know anybody at all. So I arrived here, the novelty of living in the countryside wore off, and suddenly I found myself very isolated. And I tried a couple of the usual routes. So my first one was playgroup, and I would go to playgroup and there were heaps of mums there, and a lot of them to me felt like they were in established groups already. So they might have been to antenatal classes together, or they've grown up together and gone to school around here. So trying to crack those groups was a little bit like trying to put a travel cot down. It's impossible. And I then tried rhyme time at the library, very sweet, but the librarian decided to introduce a token system. So if you didn't get there on time, you didn't have a token and you couldn't do rhyme time, which for me, running late all the time is impossible. And the final nail in the rhyme time coffin is when I sprinted up there, wet hair, rice crackers all over me, dragging Emily along, to be told at the door that there were no tokens left. And I literally turned around and kind of burst into tears, if I'm being quite honest. Hey, I was really tired and emotionally all over the place at that point. So rhyme time didn't work either. But there was one day when I got home and I thought, you need to make some mum friends, Jess, and this has to be easier than you're making it, surely. So I found a mummy dating type site, and little did I know when I became a mum that I'd be thrown back into this online dating scene, because I'd done it before when I was single in London, and suddenly I was kind of back in this scenario. But I tried it and I went through my camera roll and I tried to find a profile picture that didn't make me look too mumsy-ish, and you know, where I was smiling because I was sailing through motherhood and everything else. Uploaded the profile photo, wrote my bio, a bit about me, and off I went. And I did send some messages out and I did get some replies. Some people didn't reply to me, but it didn't work for me. And I don't know why that was, because I know some people have met some lovely mum friends through these dating apps and these dating sites that are hugely trending at the moment. Maybe it was a self-confidence thing for me. Maybe I wasn't ready to go on these one-to-ones at the time. I'm not entirely sure. A friend of mine actually recently used one of the mum dating apps, and she went and met a mum for a coffee twice. And then this mum went AWOL on her, literally AWOL. She never replied. And we kind of laugh about it now, but it brought back all of those memories where she was in her single days on the online dating scene, or she'd go on a date and the guy never replied. And I don't know if you remember going through this yourself, but you're kind of thinking, why didn't he text me back? Was I too keen? Did I come across a bit too desperate? And you start analysing all these things in your head, and she felt a little bit like that. And it's got me thinking recently, especially since setting up the Lovely Mum Crowd, are these mum dating apps and these dating mum sites actually causing us to reinforce judging each other? How can we possibly know whether we'll get on with a mum just from scrolling through profile pictures or reading a tiny bit of text on a bio? And if there's a mum that's sat inside who's desperate to get out of the house, feeling a little bit like she's got low self-esteem, maybe someone who's got postnatal depression, it's easy to swipe left if you don't want to meet that mum, but what's the damage that that's doing to the mum? And my point is this: I really feel that whenever we use any kind of apps or sites, it's important not to judge each other and think about the bigger picture. Does it really matter if they're not wearing skinny jeans? I wear leggings most of the time. Does that mean you won't get on with them? Do they not look like they've got similar interests to you on that profile photo? How could you possibly know? Now, the Lovely Mum Crowd doesn't really focus on one-to-ones. It's about groups of mums coming together. And every mum needs a mum tribe. And if I'd have had something like the Lovely Mum Crowd to click onto when I moved from London to Surrey, I genuinely believe it would have helped me, and I think it would have made that whole move so much easier for me. And that's what it's all about. It's about finding your go-to group of mums, and everyone is welcome. You're not going to be swiped left or right. That's not what we do. We all come together. And there's groups where you live, there's groups based on interest. If you're going through postnatal depression, there's a group for that. And it's about supporting each other in groups of mums.